when we teach a class, they are bound to have like some students who have such low self-efficacy that they really don't believe that they can learn the sports. They see the sports that we're going to teach, they really, I can't learn. The whole mind is filled with anxiety. Then you ask them to practice, go for the drill, then they are down there frozen, then they will like stand out there not daring to try at all. So how do you convince students who freezes out?
I believe it's not really so much about convincing them.
Okay.
It's more about helping them see and feel what's already possible within them. Every child, every learner is able to learn. It's just not in the same way. It's not in the same time, and it's definitely not through the same doors. But it all stems from belief, and the belief that we have in them, which would eventually translate into the belief that they would have in themselves, and that has to start with us as their teachers, I feel. And in PE, definitely we would see a lot of students who would freeze up. I used to have a child who every time when we have gymnastics lessons, he would freeze. He would just, he's a boy of few words, he doesn't say much. And he whispers when he talks, he's really soft spoken, and every time he knows it's gymnastic lessons, he just stands there and he freezes up. The initial part, I wanted things to be effective, so I kind of like, no, you do everything that your friends are doing, try it. Then I realized it really didn't work. So then I gave him time and space, and I told him, let's just explore things different ways. And there was one particular lesson where I got the kids to climb, you know, the ladder at the back of the hall? Right? And I realized at P4 he couldn't climb. He didn't know how to climb a ladder, and he just stood there, and I could see him tearing up. And I felt bad, and I knew, okay, as a teacher I needed to do something. So then going into that, I gave him little steps to try, like, okay, today we try 2 steps. Okay, I teach you first. And he tried it, and eventually I told him, no matter what, I'll be here. Don't worry, I'll be here. If you happen to fall, I will catch you, and I'll save you. And I gave him different ways to explore, like you try on your own. When other friends were doing other gymnastics skills, I gave him that quiet time to try, but I was watching him. I think that gave him the assurance that he was able to learn at his own pace, and he didn't have to do the same things that his friends were doing. Because climbing up a ladder, it comes very naturally for almost every child, but for him, no. And I try to understand also why there was this fear of him not wanting to climb the ladder, and he then opened up and he whispered and he said, my mom doesn't let me go out to play. So he has no prior experience of being at the playground. So then one fine day he could climb, and he could touch the top of the ladder, and he could climb down. He didn't say much, he didn't say thank you, he didn't say, I did it, Miss Lenny, but he just smiled, and he has very big round eyes, and his eyes twinkled. And he just smiled at me, and I just nodded at him, and then I patted him on the back, and I whispered, I said, good job, I knew you could do it. So then on gymnastics lesson, I mean, there were still barriers, but it's really giving him that time and space to do things on his own. And I think it also stems from us as teachers. When we get children whom we know learn differently, do we see these difficulties as barriers, or do we see them as a different way of processing things? And for us as teachers also, how do we then process them? So I think it's the same way like what you did with your child in the wheelchair, right? And you gave him time to pick up the shuttlecock, and that's brilliant. I mean, that's how I think connection works with children, and that helps a lot. It's the belief in them, you know, that you just keep picking up shuttlecocks, and eventually you will get there, right?
I think the important thing about inclusive is we need to help every student understand that everybody is just different.
Yeah.
That will take a lot of time
lot
to
of time.
convince
It takes a lot of
them, to
time.
talk to them.
Yeah. The building of that culture and the environment in that classroom takes a lot of time, and it really stems from us as teachers, I guess.